Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And while we wait for people to join us live, which we also really appreciate, we just want to speak to anyone that's watching the replay here on YouTube. Make sure to hit subscribe. And then if you want the audio version, just nestled right between your ears where we so belong, just make sure to head on over to iTunes.
That's so deep.
Right there. That's right, Greg.
Get
so you
deep
can
in
hear
there.
the Junior Grandmaster himself already chiming in, but I'm going to put him on the back seat for a second. So,
You always do.
I do.
No, I'm always back at the bus with you. I'm never.
Because I control the video, so literally people can hear you, but they can't see you, which is fantastic until I let go of that. So just want to give a quick thank you to a couple of sponsors and friends. Viral Marketing, number one, you can see what they do for Greg in the East Bay real estate video blog that they run for him. So go to gregsmarketingexamples.com, and Greg has a short video where he kind of explains their role in his business and how he uses them and the videos they send out to keep in touch with his database and pull in more referrals and repeat business, all that good stuff. And then just talked to Christian Peter from Homing In the other day. We hooked them up with a podcast in Australia. They're getting downloads of the app in Australia in response to the homeowners downloading the app and asking for home valuations out there. So essentially, if you want to check out and see if there's free seller leads in your area, go to the App Store for whatever device you have. Go download the Homing In app, and there may be already homeowners in your area that have downloaded the app and have requested a home valuation from an agent, and they may not be someone to respond to them. So go check that out. You know, pop your zip code in and see what's going on in your area. So that's Homing In. So with that being said, now that I'm ready, I will bring in the Junior Grandmaster himself, Greg McDaniel.
Such a control freak. God almighty. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a fucking awesome show. I have got some amazing shout-outs to do. But I got to tell you something. I got two things to tell you. One, I honestly think that I'm a human sprinkler. Because it's hilarious. Workout in the morning. I call it Huff and Puff, but it's like a mixed martial arts workout. And every day, on every Friday, I do this thing. And usually people line up. I'm always in the back, close to my water and my 2 towels. Yes, I need 2 towels. And then all these people that get in front of me. About 3 songs into this thing, there's a huge U right in front of me, and we always laugh because the girls and guys that try to get tucked in the back, I just sprinkle them with sweat as I go, and you see them like scamper like little roaches go away from me. They're like, oh God, what's fuck, it's raining. No, it's not raining. Oh, it's sweat. The big guy's sweating. Oh, fuck, run. Oh, so I always have this good 8 to 9 foot radius in front of me that's all clear. And I'm like, I'm doing punches, and I'm just wondering how far that sweat is actually flying. How many people am I touching that day? Like, I bless you, my son. I bless you, my son. I bless you, my son. So that I always found that, I found that to be pretty funny. Also, a big shout out to my brother Brad McDaniel and his wife Mandy. They brought into the world this last Wednesday their beautiful new baby girl, Annabelle Caitlin McDaniel, has joined us. So welcome, you beautiful little girl. I cannot wait to give you a hug.
Right. Is she like 12 pounds, like as you accuse me of having?
I don't know.
12-pound baby. All right. Anyway, let's bring in our special guest. We got Paul Campbell with us. Paul, what's up today?
Man, I don't know how to follow that, especially the
Just do what I do. Don't even try.
All right, deal. I won't even bother. I profusely sweat as well, so I feel your pain and all those around.
My fellow sweater. What's going on? That's why I have my fan on at all times with another fan behind me. It's torture in an office with no fans. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm gonna turn into a fucking puddle. Just someone just turn on something.
Don't even get me started.
All right. So Paul, give us for those that don't know you, give us the 60-second version of who you are, where you are, and what you do.
60-second version. That's always tough for me. I run a small real estate company in Portland and Bend, Oregon, along with my partner Scott Besaw. I also am actively involved in real estate investing in the Portland market, as well as kind of the surrounding areas. For those of you that aren't familiar, we got all those suburbs and everything. We do a bunch of flips, and I manage a couple of commercial properties. And yeah, I guess that's probably as close to 60 seconds as I can get.
That's awesome, man. You got your fingers in a few different pies. So we just talked to our last guest on the podcast on Wednesday was a guy from Australia. We talked to him a little bit about why agents don't get into investing, which is a lot of like your short-term mindset and the roller coaster of getting the next deal and all this stuff. So I'm curious, were you intent on getting into investing when you got into real estate to begin with, or did you come to it as an agent by just seeing the opportunity?
Gotta tell you, I came into real estate via investment. It was kind of the other way around. So it's always been a big part of my business model, what I've been trying to do from the beginning. So, I mean, I got licensed in 2007. For those of you that were there, you remember how fun that was.
Oh yeah, that was just a rosy little trip down hell.
Yeah, and I came from negotiating short sales for trying to pick up investment deals, negotiating short sales, and it's kind of amazing to me how few agents were in tune with what was happening with the market back then, and we actually did really well through the downturn by focusing on short sales and REOs, and that's actually where I ended up meeting Nick Shivers, the big dog in my market here, and we did a lot of short sales.
Now, speaking of that really quick, I was having an interesting conversation with a guy yesterday, and he's starting to see in his marketplace short sales starting to come back. He's starting to see BPOs and all that. Are you guys seeing anything up there yet?
We canceled a lot of our BPO contracts, but we kept 2 of them with our 2 favorite vendors, and it has been picking up, but I mean, I got some theories on that. I don't think it's going to really change the market too much. I mean, we had a pretty epic switch from one whole version of foreclosure process to another version of foreclosure process with the judicial and non-judicial thing going on. And I can't imagine that banks and all their epic bureaucracy would move quick enough to make that switch. So I'm guessing that a lot of this is leftover stuff that they had to roll over in a different foreclosure process. And it's just a matter of educating yourself as to how that process works and finding a way to be a part of it.
Yeah, they'll probably move as fast as Matt's 3 obese babies. Slow and thunderous.
Like molasses down a roof on a cold day.
Okay. I'm looking forward to having my first obese baby here in November. So.
Oh, man.
Bring it on.
All right. Good. And just to clarify, I do not have any kids. This is literally all sprung out of Greg's imagination. He assigned me a wife who, what's her name? Becky, Ruth, Marilla, something like that?
It's Matt and Julie, and they're 3 obese babies.
Yeah, no picture. Yeah, exactly. No pictures.
Oh, I'm digging up a picture now. Oh, that is on. You are now going to have a family photograph, my friend.
Okay. All right. Well, let's. What do you say we get to wet our whistle here?
Photoshop his head in there before the end of this podcast. I'll be pretty impressed.
No, that's one thing I can count on is Greg has no Photoshop skills, so that's not going to happen.
That's 100% true. That is not going to happen. But I will find an obese family and just plaster that up there. Just like, here you go, Matt.
Yeah, they have books for that. They're called Awkward 80s Family Photos.
That's true.
Have you seen that novelty book? Yeah, it's great. All right, here we go. So let's take a question from one of the Facebook groups here. This is from the Lead Gen Scripts and Objections, and this caught my eye because we were literally talking about this exact topic backstage before we went live, and then I found this question that was asking the same question, so I thought we'd just deal with it and get into the conversation live because I think it's really interesting. So Jamie Christine asks, has anyone had any experience with lead gen service called Firepoint, and what are your thoughts on it? So Paul, obviously you've got some experience with it. You're using it. You're friends with the guys that started it. I'm friends with guys that are friends with the guys that started it. So I've heard like rumblings, but I don't know much about it. I love to learn more about it, and I'm especially interested in, let's get into the conversation a little bit on what really makes a good Google AdWords lead and why a lot of the services like Boomtown are kind of taking the wrong approach to generating leads.
All right. So is that an open-ended statement or?
That is an open-ended statement. So let's get into the first part. So first of all, what is Firepoint? Why are you using it?
All right. So we are a long-time Boomtown user. We were one of the first 50 Boomtown adopters back when it was like the latest and greatest. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was epic. I'm pretty sure that Boomtown is responsible for changing the real estate industry on at least some levels. Their platform is fantastic. It's super user-friendly, et cetera, et cetera. However, as we were discussing earlier, they have gone in a slightly different direction.
Slightly. Just a smidge.
Yes. They've managed to massively piss off a lot of people.
They're pissing off a lot of people, including myself. Not that they give one half of a shit about pissing me off, because I'm just one guy in one little market. But I guess I would start with what made me start being irritated at Boomtown is, I mean, we all know our market. We all know our market stats. So we get X amount of leads from Boomtown for X amount of dollars spent on Google AdWords. Over the last 2 years, those leads have been going down every single month. It's noticeable. It's not huge,
In
but it's noticeable.
absolute terms or in quality?
Absolute terms. This is just numbers right off the bat.
Okay.
And as a result, that was what pinged our attention. Now we're looking and paying attention, and now we're noticing the quality is also going down. The average lead search criteria or what people can qualify for, or what they're looking for, is every single quarter slipping even lower and lower from what your market medians are. And our market medians in the Portland market are going through the roof. We've got 2 years of double-digit appreciation in the last 6 months have been insane. But we're getting all these leads from Boomtown for, $125,000, and they don't exist. It's not feasible in our market. We're not San Diego, we're not Southern California, but our median house price is creeping up towards 400, and you can't buy a garage for under $200,000 right now.
Yeah, well, I guess that brings up a good question, which is it setting aside all the issues of like the Boomtown and exclusivity and all that stuff, like, is it the lead quality and the lead numbers, is it a Boomtown problem or is it a Google Adwords problem? Is it just getting much more competitive and the cost per click is going up and all that stuff?
Well, the competition is being driven by Boomtown. That's the part that pisses me off. Exclusive or have limited amounts of platforms per market, and they did that to preserve the quality of their leads. Now that this is my opinion, I'm probably going to get sued for saying this, but now that they're big shot investors behind them, and they're trying to mass produce their platform, which I understand. I mean, couldn't be forever. They got to grow their business. Their lead quality has just steadily gone completely to shit, and I'm guessing it's because they're trying to maintain quantity and the appearance of, giving you a gajillion leads, just because that's all agents seem to really be concerned about is, I got 17 leads this week from my AdWords campaign. Okay, but what's your ROI on those? What's your average? What are they looking at price point wise?
Yeah. Well, that's the conversation I want to get into, because I think that's where a lot of agents fall down on it. Is you mentioned it right there. It's what's your ROI, and the reason that's not a concern. Well, it's not a concern for a lot of reasons, short-term thinking and all that stuff. But the bottom line is that it's not a concern enough to even track it or worry about it. So they're seeing the numbers come in. Nothing gets tracked beyond that point. There's probably no systematic follow-up system in place unless you're a bigger team with all the built-in campaigns and somebody holding the agents accountable to follow up and all this stuff. So you've got these numbers of leads, and people are interested in Boomtown because of the number of leads that they're being told that they will receive, and giving no other consideration to all the other factors. So there's a couple of examples that you gave before we went on the air that if you don't mind sharing, I'd love for you to share. So when you get a lead, like you've noticed certain things coming where a lead will come into a certain area, but they're looking for something that's either not available, isn't really there, like give us some of those examples again.
Sure. And I forget what we were talking about exactly, but once a week we go over all of our TBDs or leads that are pre-approved or actively searching, and we go over that with our lender, which is extremely helpful because they're a big part of our sales process. And we look at why haven't we closed these deals out, and about 60% of the list is unrealistic expectations. So it's like people will want a house in Gresham for under $150,000, or they'll want to be in Lake Oswego for under $400,000. Basically, it's what everybody wants. So of course there's going to be an online lead for that because everybody wants it because it doesn't exist. It's like I would really love to win the lottery. If I could go to a website and they would give me the winning lottery numbers, I'd do it right now. But
so it's like everybody that walks onto a car lot and says, I want to buy a brand new car, but I don't want any payments over $200 a month.
Yeah, you can't get a Mercedes for $200 a month.
Yes. What? I'm shocked. I'm so disappointed. All right, so I think that's a conversation that people need to hear, especially if you're thinking about investing in something, whether it's Firepoint or whatever the case is, even if it's just a Real Geek site and sending traffic to it. Where the kind of traffic and who is managing your AdWords campaign, if it's you or whether it's somebody else, it does matter. And I mean, I was just talking with Jeff Cohn about this the other day, and they want to do some analysis and stuff like that, and just see about some of those things. Are they really optimizing their campaign? Where they're spending well over $10,000 a month, putting it directly into AdWords. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend to not get the return that you want.
Yeah, Jeff Cohn is a big Boomtown guy too, so he'll probably slap me in the face for talking crap about him. I don't know.
Is the truth. I mean, what do you want to do? Keep blowing some smoke up someone's skirt? No.
Yeah. I mean, we all want to optimize, the quality of the leads and the number of the leads that were coming in. But yeah.
It's funny, I hate to interrupt, but you keep bringing up optimize and ROI, and that's funny that you mentioned that, because if I don't mind regressing a little bit, the question was about Firepoint itself.
Yeah.
One of the things that drew me to Chris and the Firepoint platform is the insane ability the platform provides you to drill down and know exactly what your ROI is. So you can make spend on exactly what's giving you the most return, and you know it to the penny at all times by using this system.
Gotcha. So it's tracking your leads all the way through the system, all the way to closed, and then what's your exact, linking it back to the original, what say does it link it all the way back to cost per click, or we just cost per lead, that sort of thing?
It dials it in pretty much any way you want, any way you want to look at it. But Chris is a pretty smart guy. He taught me and a lot of other people to just expand your mind about ROI, because ROI isn't necessarily you put in $100 and you get $200. It also needs to include how long did it take you to get that $200. And if you could have gotten $25 6 times in the same amount of time it would have got you to get $100, then did you just lose $50? And so part of the tracking that Firepoint is extremely good at is the longevity of that lead from click to close. So you can even drill down which leads have a tendency to close faster. Like if you run your Zillow campaigns through your platform and your Google Adwords, and you can even run your mailing analytics through there too, and you can say, well, this campaign that I did right here, the average close time on that was 3 months, and we made X percentage. This campaign over here took 8 months for an average close. We made this much. Which one actually should we put more money into? And it can drill things down to that. Like, if you talk to Chris Tam about this stuff for about 15 minutes, you'll really need a bottle of Advil. I mean, he can tell you exactly how many pennies, down to the penny, what every ad campaign that he ran when he was running that real estate company made him, and how long it took, basically off the top of the man's head. It's insane.
Really?
That is insane.
So this is a cheaper, better version of the other lead generation systems. They give a higher quality lead. Is this what I'm understanding?
Well, better is subjective. I mean, I'll be real honest with you. Boomtown has a prettier platform.
I don't want pretty. I want effective.
They've been around for a long time. It's easier to use. Agents are used to it.
Right.
And even I'm jumping on a little of the growing pains with our Firepoint switch. But the ads are better. I mean, even in the limited amount of time that I have working with Firepoint directly as our primary lead gen system, the AdWords are resulting in a better quality lead. It's a higher price point, and it's easier to reach.
Well, I mean, it's like living in a one-bedroom condo with a smoking hot chick, or go live in a palatial mansion with something that's fugly. I mean, I would live in the one-bedroom condo with a smoking hot chick.
Going back to the Fat Family reference, I like it.
Oh, by the way, Matt, I did pull some photos and I sent them to Caitlin for Photoshop, so we'll see how fast those get turned around.
Oh, come on. Killing me, dude. Killing me.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I can remember. She has animation skills, so I can retaliate. She's been doing those animated graphics of us. Oh, yeah. I can do some shit. Don't you watch?
Oh, yeah. Game
so.
Is on.
All right. Oh my
Josh
God.
Bryan just sent an awesome one. Oh, that is epic. Thank you, Josh. That is awesome. I got to share that. I got to share it. I got to send it to you.
All right. Okay. So real quick, why don't we, Greg? You have some shout outs. Speaking of Josh Bryan, thank you. Josh was on my Facebook Live earlier today too. Joshua Smith was watching for a little bit too. So just want to thank you to those guys. And Greg, who do you have to shout out today, by the way?
I got some amazing people as always, Matt, because I hang out with ridiculously cool people on a nightly basis. Well, and I got to get away from your fat family here, which I'm stuck on for some reason.
Fat family. At one point, they were diabetic and lacto-ovo-vegetarian.
Which we still don't know what that is. But those little diabetic
I think it means
bastards.
you don't eat anything. Or you go, you only eat things you find in your backyard. Something like that.
Either way, that sounds horrible. I'd be eating my cats. That's the only thing I have in my backyard. Come here, kitty, kitty. All right, so let's talk to Brad. He hit me up. I did a quick call with him. He called me, and we're talking about prospecting calls, kind of what he's doing, and kind of tweaked his script a little bit. So I sent him a minute-long Facebook message talking about kind of how to tweak it. He went out and did it, got great results. He loves the show. He loves listening to us. Then I have Johnny, who I did a call with last night, dude. It was an awesome call. Super pumped that I got time to hang out with you. And then the night before that, on today's Friday, on Wednesday, I got to talk to Eileen from Hawaii. She is so fucking awesome, dude. Such a generous, kind woman. She and I were talking about all kinds of shit, and we were both drinking and hanging out. And at the end of it, she's like, "Greg, you gotta come out to Hawaii, stay at my house, and my son is a scuba instructor. He'll take you out diving. You can bring friends." I'm like, "Can I bring Matt and Julie? They have 3 big babies. Do you have big doors, or big wetsuits? Maybe the blubber will just keep them warm." Talking with Josh Bryan, and yes, Josh, we are mentioning your name a lot, so you can show it to your manager again, Josh Bryan. Speaking at his office potentially, because I know, Matt, you're going out that direction in July. Yep. So we're going to see if maybe I can swing out, hook up with you guys, and maybe we can talk to his brokerage and maybe get about 40 agents in a room and do some sort of coaching out there for a day.
I keep forgetting to mention that. Kristen asked me if I'd talk to you about that, and so I'll do it on the air. Greg, you should come with us to Podcast Movement 2016 in July of this year.
So generous. I'm so happy you thought of me.
That's right. If there's any words that spring to mind about me, it should be magnanimous and gregarious.
Or the lack thereof, and then the words.
Okay.
Then we have Nick Jackson hit me up out of LA. We're doing the McDaniel Challenge. Guys, McDaniel Challenge, I'm not fucking with you. This thing is booked out, and Nick took August 8th. So I have 2 openings before that. I have August 3rd and August 4th, if you guys want to get into this. I mean, this shit is just flying off the shelves, Matt. It is so awesome to see this, and it's so much fun to talk to all these wonderful folks. So you guys keep it coming. You guys want to know what the McDaniel Challenge is? You do? Oh my God. Okay, well, I'm glad you asked.
I do.
Well, so the McDaniel Challenge is you guys get together with me for an hour or 2, usually like 2 hours, guys, and we're going to coach, free hour of coaching, no strings attached, 100% free. You can come hang out with me. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but it did. And then we're going to work you through mindset. We're going to work through what's stopping you, hindering you, keeping you back from where you want to be. So it could be mindset, prospecting, whatever is your clusterfuck, we will unfuck you. And hashtag do not let Greg spend a night alone, or he will pester Matt. We all know this, and I will take action. I will take action.
Yeah. Please don't let Greg spend a night alone, because then he calls me. He wants to chat.
Matt, I'm lonely, man. What's going on? What's happening?
What you doing?
What's up?
All right. So what's your phone number, Greg? Where do people contact you?
925-915-1978. Again, 925-915-1978. It is buzzing next to me. I did pay my bill, so make it happen, Captain. Get off the fence and fucking do it. I love this. And Caitlin loves... She said, "I would love, capital L-O-V, to put a family photo together."
Oh, goodness. All right. Here we go. This is going to be a bad episode. All right. Paul, let's shut Greg up and get back to you for a few minutes here.
Oh, no. Good. You want to see the family.
We will share this on our Facebook page, guys. Go like us and follow us on our Facebook page, and we will share Matt's family reunion photo at a diabetic clinic.
That's right. I sense that there's going to be a lot of denim. I see yards and yards of denim.
No,
like
we're just going to do
like a Canadian pantsuit.
We're just going to do fold over fold over fold.
Oh, okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, Paul. So let's get back to you. So fill us in a little bit. Go a little bit deeper into your background. And you mentioned that did you say you got into it in 2007?
Well, before that I was doing my private investments.
Gotcha. So how long have you been investing in real estate in the Portland area?
Let's see, and before that I was dabbling in mortgage, but how long has it been? 10 years, 11 years probably.
Yeah, nice. So mortgage, then investing, and then investing led you to become a licensed agent, probably just to get a leg up on investments and do more research and stuff like that. Is that how you kind of got into the selling side?
Yeah, that was a big part of it. And you know, the market wasn't as friendly as it was for flipping houses back in 2007 and 8. So, although believe it or not, you can still make a lot of money doing it in a depreciating market. So,
All right.
No, you can't. Actually, in the depreciating markets, I had the idea, but I never took action on it. Is because I don't know. Maybe I was just afraid. But like a bunch of guys out here, what they did is they got together, got 500 or $1 billion put together, went out and just bought everything all cash, like held 3 out of the 4, or held 2 out of the 4 or whatever, and then sold the other 2 just quick returns. And then when the appreciation came up, they just cleaned house.
yeah, I know a few guys that did that, and I do have my regrets as well.
No.
Yeah, it was a great model. We
Yeah.
weren't in a position to hold houses that long, so we could only turn them. But it still went really well. I mean, there's always a price that makes sense for an investor.
Absolutely. $1 is always good for me. I like $1.
Me too.
Yeah, you can make a $1 investment right now, Greg. It's called the Snickers bar.
Why are you picking on me? Is that what you feed your children? I wonder.
Right. Well, yeah, by the case full. All right, so Paul, you mentioned that you got into the short sale business coming out of the crash. So how long were you able to ride that before you had to kind of transition back into more of a normal listing business?
You know, it was funny. We were almost better at kind of predicting the market when it was going to shit, and we were maybe a little slow to start kind of revamping more traditional real estate as a
Really?
company. Because, I don't know, you just get in the habit of doing the same shit, I guess.
Yeah.
But probably about 2 years ago, we really died out of short sales, maybe a little longer. And I'm not saying that short sales still aren't out there. It just is no longer our primary business focus.
Yeah.
I know.
So what is the focus now? Like, what did you shift to?
It's mostly traditional. Running the brokerage. Actually, I'd probably say 3 years ago on that switch. Really started 3 years ago and took off 2 years ago. Trying to build the team and focus on just the residential aspect of buying and selling. And then, of course, focusing on the investment side still think, but that's not something that my agents do a lot of. That's usually just my little baby.
Yeah.
So what are some of the qualifications as you're growing your team you're talking about? What are some of the qualifications that you're looking for that you've found successful when you bring a team together?
Well, we are big on chemistry. We have to like each other, especially if you're working as a team. I know that's probably a big no-brainer, but it's amazing to me how many people don't like each other that work together.
No way, Matt and I we seem to get along.
Another discussion for another day. Paul, what kind of size of a team are we talking about here?
We have 2. We've got a team in Bend, Oregon, and we've got a team here in Portland. Bend, Oregon is actually growing a little faster than Portland. They've got about 25 out there.
Wow.
And then, but they, there's we have 2 structures. We have independent and we have team. So the team gets the leads and has all the support, pays the lower split, etc. And then independent agents can do as they please and pick.
Yeah, it's more like a team within a brokerage.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
team within brokerage.
So let me ask you, because this question came up actually with someone here just within the last, I don't know, month and a half. So he has the same issue. He owns a brokerage. It's actually named out. It's his family name. That is an established name. And then within that, he has a team, but he would like to recruit other agents, and they have a few already, but he would like to recruit more agents to the brokerage. So what have you guys found branding-wise? Like, what are you guys doing to where you have your team, and then you have independent agents that can join your brokerage, and it doesn't all get confused and muddled for the marketplace?
That's a great question. We're probably not the people to ask. We're still a little Hey,
no golden key there?
no golden keys. No golden keys. We, excuse me. We just feel like, the more that there's signs on the streets and phones ringing, that it'll benefit everybody on the team and on the independent side of things, because their listings will have 3 times the exposure because we have that team infrastructure that's out there trying to sell those listings.
Well, how is it branded to the public? Is it just branded as the brokerage, or is it everything like the team? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Everything's branded as the brokerage.
Cool. All right. So when you listed and sold all these homes on the short sale side, did you keep in touch with all these people that were moving into the homes that might now be at the point where they are looking for the next home? Like, did you use that to build up your database?
Yeah, we kept a bunch of that stuff. You touched on it earlier. One of the pieces of technology that we enjoy is the viral marketing system, because
Hmm.
that's a great way to keep in touch with all your past database without you really having to reach out and touch every single one of them yourself all the time, which is probably not my specialty, but the videos get out and that helps a lot.
I don't know, Paul. I see you as such a people person, a
Oh
man,
yeah,
man of the people.
love me the people. There's that.
Hey, so Paul, with that in mind, with video, are you guys using Facebook Lives at all to leverage out to all of your team members their sphere of influences? Matt and I do independently every day, well, 5 days a week. We do Facebook Lives. I mean, I'm getting massive interaction. I mean, last video I did yesterday was 55 comments, 420 views last time I saw, 2 shares. I mean, massive, reaching out to folks. So, I mean, are you guys starting to use that yet? Because it is really powerful.
I literally just started looking into that last week. Um, Kyle down in San Diego is probably my little personal hero, whether he knows it or not, about using Facebook Live. And he goes out and does these events every weekend and does Facebook Lives, and he's killing it down there. And I was looking into that a little bit, but it's not something we've really overutilized. We're right in the middle of this switch, ironically, from Boomtown to Firepoint, and we're hoping once that's done, that'll free us up to really focus in on some of that cool stuff you were just talking about. But I love that Facebook Live platform. That's the coolest thing ever.
Dude, I make it a freaking event. I start with music, I go super animated, but you could tell I'm pretty low key. So, nah, personality, you're sorely lacking. But I get music going, and then I end it with loud music, just complimenting people, just dropping F-bombs right and left, having a great time. I mean, I wouldn't encourage your agents to do that, but I would definitely encourage them to have a blast when they get on this thing and do it, every day. Go show properties with this thing, announce new properties coming onto the market, take them through virtual open houses, promote that over your different social networks, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, that you're going to go live at this time, to follow. I just got onto Instagram. I did my first snap the other day. I was so proud of myself.
Did you get a snap on Instagram? Oh, hold on,
Yeah, just
Yeah. Good Lord.
One thing.
We're old guys at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Instagram earlier, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. All right, Paul. So let's dive back into the lead generation of the marketing side a little bit. So you've got your Google AdWords running through, like you're switching over to the Firepoint platform. So we know you're running a lot of Google AdWords and getting a lot of leads in that way. So what else is working in terms of bringing in leads for you guys?
Oh gosh, we really spend a lot of time on the Google AdWords platform because it's basically math, and it's really easy to calculate that return. That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about the Firepoint platform, is it's going to make it even easier.
Yeah.
Above and beyond that, I mean, I can't think of a better way to build your database than using the Google AdWords platform. Our next probably big thing is we spend the money on the Facebook ads. I know that's not quite as cool as Facebook Live, but I mean, I don't know how you can do any better than that, man. I mean, you can drill down, like, people that like cheeseburgers, and then we're having cheeseburgers at our open house. I mean, you can do that now. It's so Big Brother, but I guess people don't do it anymore.
Well, that is why the CIA, NSA, FBI, and every other alphabet soup decided to just go talk to Facebook all the time. Why is the CIA director always at Facebook? Because they have all the data.
Yeah, they know everything about you. They probably know what color underwear I have on right now.
That's disturbing.
Well, if they're watching the show, as they should be, they know. Yeah.
Oh, they know.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So what are you guys doing with Facebook ads? Are we talking about lead generation on the front side? Are we talking about listing marketing, or just all of the above?
Yeah, all of the above. And we funnel all of it through the lead gen site, which is transitioning from PortlandPropertyFinders.com, our Boomtown site, over to our new site with Firepoint. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, what's your when you're marketing a listing? What are you having your? I'm assuming your agents or maybe your ops guy or whatever is managing some of these Facebook campaigns for the active listings. So, do you have any idea what goes into those campaigns and what they're doing, like, per listing?
You mean as far as dollar figure, or as far as ad?
No, not dollar figure. Just more strategy. Like, what are they? What's their Facebook strategy when you guys take a new listing? Do you have like a standard strategy for how to promote that listing on Facebook?
Yeah, it's pretty standard with a market-based twist. I mean, We just recently listed a $1.7 million house on the river.
Nice.
With a dock, and obviously we didn't just throw that out there to every jackass on Facebook and say,
you definitely want to target horse lovers, right, for that river property? Yeah.
People that really are excited about living in a condo.
Yeah.
I'm sure they all showed up. So, I mean, we dialed it a little differently, but I mean, for the most part, it's pretty consistently the same.
Okay.
And
so just like geo-targeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's area-based, age-based, income-based, and whether or not they're actually looking for a house for whatever reason. And I'm not that techie. I don't know exactly how Facebook comes up with their algorithms for figuring this shit out, but all I know is I can click on a few buttons and say that I think that these people would be a good fit for this house, and that's where the ad goes. So I don't mean to oversimplify, but that's how we do it.
It's all right. Cool.
It needs to be simple. I mean, my God, everything else is so close to fuck out there. Let's make it simple.
Yeah.
I mean, there it is.
You know your demographic for people that are buying your condos or your houses out in the suburbs, so you set your Facebook ad profile up, throw a few dollars at it, and make sure it's going to the demographic that you think is going to sell.
Absolutely. I mean, you can also drill down on engagements, marriages, kids, companies that people may be working for in the area. I mean, like you said, you can go so micro on this stuff that it is a wonderful but very powerful tool.
Yeah, and you don't even have to be that good at it to get a nice ROI off of it. Case in point, me. Like, I haven't really drilled down that far. You just gave me 2 ideas I just wrote down for next thing to look at when we post one of these bad boys, because there's just so many legs.
Oh, there's so many legs. I mean, check this one out. So, if you're going to do something to attract people, if you get puppies and kids, and you can combine puppies and kids, you're going to hit a grand slam out of the park. So let's go to a no-kill shelter. Talk about doing a pet adoption. Do it at one of your mega open houses in the front yard. Then go to hit up all the people with young kids. Say, hey, you guys want to get a free pet adoption? Because then you're going to know the parents, work for certain companies. They have certain age kids. They're probably going to have a certain income and a certain size house. And then they need a dog, man. Every kid needs a dog and 2 cats, Matt.
No, sorry, you are incorrect as usual, Greg.
You pipe down over there, pal.
Now, people don't need 1 cat, let alone 2 cats.
Matt,
you of all people definitely do not need 2 cats. All right.
I need 2.
So, so Paul, let's get into the maybe just the personal success side of things. You've got your team running. You've been doing investments and stuff like that. So, tell us a little bit about what is an average day like for you, and how do you kind of keep yourself motivated to keep going, keep chasing?
Man, that's the fun thing about this business. There is always something to do, especially if you're looking at it from with wide-angle lenses. So, what's my typical day? God, that's a scary thought, actually. There's a lot of drinking.
Well, let's see. Start by drowning kittens in the bathtub.
Hey,
and,
easy off the cat's ass. Stop picking on the pussies.
Oh, God, Greg.
Every time we miss a sale, God kills a kitten, right?
That's right. That should be on a poster in your office. Every time we miss a sale, God kills a kitten.
That's my new poster. That just happened.
Oh, I have a feeling that's going to go on one of our the thing that Caitlin does. The graphics.
The funny graphics. Yeah. All right. So anyway, So typical day for you, Paul.
I wake up. I go through our online leads, just make sure that our agents weren't jobbing anything from the previous day. Send out my hate mail to people that didn't return phone calls on lead.
Son of a bitch, I know what you're doing or not doing.
That's right. So you're holding agents accountable.
Yes, my accountability piece.
That's right.
Slandering them and bashing them on the emotional levels, yes.
Yeah, in a polite, professional, uplifting, coaching sort of a way, of course.
That's right. That's right.
Then I check on the commercial building. Just make sure that nobody in there is bitching about the temperature being 2 degrees too cold or 2 degrees too hot. That's always a good time.
And you say that with such passion. That's such a good time.
It sounds like you have a passion for thermostats.
And then I get into the fun part of my day, and that's, you know, the big picture thinking. What are we doing for the next 6 to 12 months with the real estate company? What are we doing with our projects? Right now we're actively running 7 rehab projects, so I'll usually spend a couple hours touring those, making sure they're on track, on budget, etc. I'll do forecasts for our profitability, when the cash is getting turned around, spend a couple hours doing that. And I like to spend at least an hour a day reading somebody smarter than me so I learn something. So right now I'm reading the 4-hour work week, which I guess is an old staple, and there's a lot of good little gems in there. Not that I've had a 4-hour work week since I was like 7 years old, but I don't think that's the point of the book if you really dive in there.
Yes, that is the point that people miss if they have not read the book, which is that is not the goal.
That is not the goal.
Wait, so you mean I missed the point of the book?
You did miss the point of the book, Greg.
Oh, that's 2 for 2. Oh, this book thing is so hard. You have to read the words and stuff in a certain order for it to make sense. I'll start that.
I'm a big fan of relationship capital, which is basically a buzzword for getting drunk with cool people.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure that's how I met Chris, and I know that's how I met a lot of great guys in this business. Is, you know, just finding somebody that's been doing something right and offering to buy them a drink, and see how it goes from there.
So my flight arrives at 8:47 this evening, and let's go.
Let's do it. Let's go learn some shit.
Well, but there is a hidden gem of knowledge there, which is it's surprising. I was talking to one of the top guys in Minneapolis, and when he got into the business in 2008, the top guy at that time, who's still one of the top guys, basically agreed to meet with him and just opened up everything that he did, showed him every system, showed him literally everything, spent like half a day with him. And he gets done with it, he's like, dude, why did you do that? He's like, because 99% of the people that have this knowledge will do absolutely jack with it. So he's like, I don't have any fear of opening everything up and showing you everything that I do.
Yeah, it is so true.
There's enough business out there. If you're a driven and motivated person, you have like any joy and all in your life to do these things. If it really makes you wake up and gets you excited like it does me, new stuff makes me just like literally run around in circles like screaming like a kid on Christmas Eve. And, you know, a drunken conversation was probably, and my wife is going to be so embarrassed when she sees that, precursor to all these great ideas that we've had. Like, a little teaser, Firepoint is working on a platform that's lender-specific. And me and Chris came up with that over drinks once at a mastermind a couple of months ago. I think it was actually in the Bahamas. So.
Oh, yeah, Viral's mastermind, yeah.
Well, you know, no good story ever started with, so there I was eating a salad.
Yeah.
No.
That is a poster, Greg.
I know. It's like, so what you should be doing, you're missing the boat. Okay.
We should buy a bar. We should totally buy a bar.
Oh my God, let's buy a bar.
Yeah. Well, if it sounds like that was Firepoint and its related offsprings will definitely be a much better idea than, hey, we should buy a bar.
Yeah, much better. But there were drinks involved. Maybe the bartenders were paying attention. They'll open up a real estate company. Who knows?
Hey, again, 99% of the people are never going to use it, so it doesn't matter, you know. And that's the cool part. If you're willing to learn, like I tell people this all the time, if you are honestly willing to learn and put it into action, I'll spend time with you because that's going to make this industry better. And if our industry has a better reputation, then more people are going to want to become educated in it, not just be slack-jawed idiots.
There's no slack-jawed idiots in real estate. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Oh my God. All right. So a couple quick questions for you before we round things out, Paul. So I'm curious, just on the going back to your daily schedule and stuff. Are you actively doing the recruiting? Do you have someone in your office that meets with the agents that are interested in coming on your team?
Yeah. No, we have our principal broker is actively responsible for the recruiting, and
Gotcha.
Once they've gotten somebody in there that's interested, then we all meet up together, and I come in at that point, talk about the philosophy of the company and, you know, our whys and all of that good stuff, and you know, kind of the direction we'd like to help them go, and that's about that. But they're already pretty much sold, you know, until I come along and ruin
No, you mentioned chemistry as one of the big things, and so it sounds like you're getting multiple people together and kind of signing off on a new agent. But just in general terms, what are you looking for? Do you go after the new, young, hungry, the guys that Joshua Smith is getting and just hoping to hold on to them for a couple years? Or are you looking for people that are starting a second career that are in their 40s and 50s? Like, what's your ideal profile for an agent?
Well, that depends on what month you ask me. So I've done all the above. I mean, we've recruited people that have been in the business for a long time, and we've had some success, and we've had some just utter fucking failures.
Oh my God,
okay.
I've had a few of those.
And
Epic.
that's just because, I mean, they don't say cliches are what they are for a reason, I guess. I mean, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I don't know, whatever. If you've been doing real estate for 20 years, maybe you don't want to do it our way, and that's fine, I guess. Whatever.
There was a guy, nearly old saying, like, why do you pay hookers for sex? It's not for the sex, it's for them to leave. And we actually had an agent that we literally paid $800. We're like, get the fuck out.
Yeah. It was to be honest, I mean, the not quite as offensive way of looking at that is they're probably miserable too. So you're just doing everybody a favor.
Yes.
Yeah.
They need to be released into the greater world to find where they rightfully belong.
Yeah, or just beat over the head and left in a burlap sack. I mean, that works too.
There are a couple missing people in Portland that I had nothing to do with.
I was going to say, man, this is Portland turning into Chicago.
Yeah. Which is another side factor of mine. I'm totally kidding.
Oh, man.
For all the FBI agents, totally kidding. I mean, we believe him.
But right now I'm kind of on a kick of finding people that aren't really in real estate, and I think a lot of that's market driven, especially from talking to you guys. It's probably harder to get people excited about getting into real estate when the market just sucks huge donkey ass like it did in 2007 and 8. Yeah, I heard real estate's great.
Here's this very attractive meat grinder. Would you like to step into it for a second?
And we're not going to pay you. We're not going to pay you.
Yeah, you don't get paid for 6 months, and it's going to suck.
Yeah, pretty much. So right now, people are approaching me and saying, "Hey, I've heard that you have a good program for people that don't have real estate experience." That's the other thing about having a nice lead gen and trackable platform like the Firepoints out there is because you can use that as bait to really train and get new talent. Because the biggest fear I've discovered in new agents coming on board is, where do I start? Well, here I got a great idea. I got 300 leads for you to call. Here you go. That's where you start.
But the sad thing is, they probably won't do it because wait, they have to work. And real estate isn't work. It's Mercedes and signs in the yard and nice suits.
Well, let's rewind and remember that I said that I was recruiting people that weren't in real estate.
Good point. Good point.
You mean people that are used to showing up and working?
Yeah, and no disrespect to the hardworking real estate agents out there, but I've found a greater percentage of people that are coming from the grind of a job that's paying them 50 or 60 grand a year, and they think it's the best thing since sliced bread. Coming in and realizing they can put that kind of effort into something that pays them 3-4 times that.
Yeah.
And the look on their face when they get that first check is priceless, and I love being a part of that.
No, it's totally true. A lot of the McDaniel challenges I do, a lot of them are coming out of different things, maybe military service or something corporate, and they're like kids on Christmas, man. They're like, I can make all this money, I can do anything I want. Okay, tell me how to do this, and we're out the door. It is true, like you said, it is a blessing to be a part of that when they call you up and be like, I just got my first $12,000 check. And you're like, that's awesome, keep it up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and I love it. That's one of the things that's one of my whys I wake up in the morning is making at least now, we joked earlier about what an awesome people person I am, and I'm not, you're right. But when I get that relationship with that one person that is as invested and as excited about this business as I am, and they take those gems and they turn it into something, man, nothing makes me happier. Yeah. Nothing in this whole world makes me happier than that. That's one of the reasons I wake up in the morning.
No, that is really cool. You're changing lives, and you're freeing people from the 9 to 5. You're giving them the lifestyle and they need and want and deserve, and you're growing a quality team and a good brokerage and different groups in different areas. So I see. From what we're talking about here, I see nothing but good, solid growth with your group. I mean, You're doing it the right way. You're not doing, fly by night, hot and heavy. You're doing, right steps, right people.
Now, one of the reasons why I drink is people who don't listen. That's good. That puts me to bed early.
You fuckers, I gotta drink you away.
All right, so going back to your comment, Paul, about reading things that were written by people that are smarter than you. So what are some of the books that you like that have had an impact on you?
I'm a little ADD, so I get through about half of most books.
That's good.
That's 50% more than most people.
There's a lot of gems in the first half of a lot of good books.
The second half sucks. We all know that.
That's right. I wouldn't know. They lose me right at the midpoint, but that's funny.
So the one thing that was a pretty eye-opening book for me, that Gary Keller book. Keller Williams has a great coaching program. The guys that run that company are pretty smart guys. And I loved the concept that multitasking isn't what it's cracked up to be, because I've been getting my ass kicked by every woman that I've ever had a relationship with about being a shitty multitasker since I was about 3 years old. When I read that book, I was like, yes!
Your vindication.
Yeah. It's like, I should not be doing that.
That is, they did. I think Harvard did a study a number of years ago. They said that when people smoke weed, they get about 5 times dumber in that time. But when you multitask, the thing came out as a result that you get 10 times dumber when you are multitasking because you can't finish anything.
Yes.
And you're like, yes, I'm typing an email and on a podcast. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it, as a matter of fact. I was actually looking at what that last book that I was reading because I forgot what it was. The next book I'm going to read is The Rockefeller Habits, which was ironically referred to me by Mr. Frank Klesitz of Viral Marketing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's anything by Vern Harnish. When I was with Viral, I don't know, not last year, but the year before that, they were going through the Rockefeller Habits and installing some of that stuff. It is ridiculous. It is unbelievably good.
Yeah, no, Frank is one of the smartest guys I've ever met, so if he recommends that I read something, I'll probably read it. I might even make it the whole book.
Oh my!
Right.
No, don't make promises. Paul, I don't know if you do this or not, but I legitimately have dyslexia, so for me, reading sucks balls on a hot day. And so what I do is I do Audible, and I just put them in my earbuds, and when I'm driving to and from work or whatever else, or walking around the office, I'll chew through a book. There it is. There it is. Did you know that they have you looked into channels on Audible yet?
The channels are that's where it's at. There's some good stuff on there.
Oh, dude, Harvard Review, all kinds of Stanford and a bunch of other publications and organizations are putting stuff out. It's epic.
It's great. It's great stuff. And obviously some of my reading time is devoted to this whole new baby in November thing. So
what to expect when you're expecting to expect?
Yeah, all that stuff. So yeah, that's where my time is at these days as far as the books are concerned. But Audible, man, if you don't have it, get it. I spend a lot of time in the car driving back and forth between these projects, and traffic in Portland's starting to completely suck. So get a lot of time with my book.
Yeah, it's totally true.
It's a life-changing thing. 6 months ago, I got turned on to Audible, and oh man, I love it. So great.
I do everything with it, and I used to have the mindset when I was in traffic, like, fuck, this sucks, god damn it, I'm in fucking traffic. But now it's like, dude, I get an extra 10 minutes with my book?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Me too. It's a weird mind fuck when you realize you actually don't mind being in traffic. Yeah. Just for fun, I got a Tesla, and it drives itself in traffic, which is pretty cool. So
What?
Yeah, I can read, type emails, and listen to my Audible. It's great.
Matt, our first purchase when we make a lot of money doing our podcast, Teslas.
Great.
So they can drive themselves.
Completely unrelated pitch. Teslas are awesome.
Are they?
I want one of those things actually really bad. Those things look ridiculous. The giant iPad that you play with and it drives itself. I mean, come on.
It's like an iPad you can drive.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it.
All right, very cool. All right, so you mentioned you've got a couple of teams. You got one in Bend, Oregon, and one in Portland, right?
Right.
Okay. So how do people send over if they got people that are moving into that area? How can people send referrals your way?
Well, My beautiful mug is not really on the website because I'm not actively selling in the state right now, but you're more than welcome to reach out to any of our agents. Our website's theportlandpropertyfinders.com. More than welcome to email me directly, paulc@stellarrealtynw.com, and my cell phone, call whenever, 503-380-8412. I'm pretty easy to reach.
Yeah, very cool.
If I forget to call you back, send me a text.
and if I get to answer the text, I just don't want to talk to you.
Ignore your text. Because I'm a texting fool. So if you don't hear back from the text, then I just don't like you.
I love the uncensored version of our podcast, Matt.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Bale is back, and holy shit, that's what they look like.
Did you get that picture back yet? I'm dying over here. I want to see this thing.
Thankfully, no. Nothing has appeared.
Caitlin brought up a very good point. Some of the images I sent over to her were offensive, and so Caitlin is going to make an animated version of it, so it's not so offensive.
Oh man!
Never would have guessed. Never would have guessed.
Yeah. Greg, pure as the driven snow. All right, guys. So, Greg, refresh all of our memories on the McDaniel challenge.
It's a dream come true. I mean, what are your other two wishes? Here I am. It's an hour or two, probably more. Matt's dying. It's about two. I have 2 hours of free. Again, I say free, people. Real estate coaching where we're going to unfuck your mind, and we're going to get you back on track so that you guys can go be epic human beings and make billions and trillions of dollars. No, I'm just fucking with you. We're just going to take you guys and we're going to get you guys back on track. Mindset, marketing, prospecting. You don't know what you're doing. You're like a little white lamb, and you're walking through the forest. You don't want to be pounced on by the cougars, which would be the other agents out there.
A little white lamb in the forest. You're very vivid, very vivid visuals today, Greg.
I know. And it's just coffee today, Matt. I don't know. No carrot juice. Maybe I'll just stick to coffee.
Yeah.
But guys, call me on my cell phone, text me on my cell phone. Facebook, I'm really good on Facebook messages. I'm at 5,000 friends, so follow me on Facebook, guys. So you'll see my Facebook lives on a daily basis. If you think this is funny, go watch some of that shit. And this is going to be stuff that will not be covered on the podcast itself. But get me set up 925-915-1978, or go to the McDanielChallenge.com, and you can book a time there. # do not let Greg spend a night alone.
That's right. Please don't. All right. And that's Josh Bryan just sent me a picture, which I'll see if I can post this. It's my face superimposed along with a very
rotund.
Yes, substantial woman in a white wedding dress.
Yes, he sent that to me, and I was like, yes, that's awesome.
Yes. All right. Anyway, guys. So. With that, we will put a bow on this one. Remember to subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher, and check out Viral Marketing, gregsmarketingexamples.com. They also run Paul's, the real estate video blog for his brokerage up in that area, so they're doing a phenomenal job for both Greg and Paul. So check them out on that page, gregsmarketingexamples.com. Greg has a video where he explains exactly what they do. So I know a lot of people have heard of them but really don't understand what they do. Just go to that page and check out the example. And then homing in, make sure to go download the app. It's free. Check it out. There's homeowners that are requesting home valuations all over the country and even all over the world, and there are not enough agents to respond to the requests. So go download the app, see if there are seller leads essentially waiting for you in the app. So go check that out. And yeah, with that.
Matt, do you know that we're at 2,630 people on our YouTube? How blessed are we? We're just climbing and climbing and climbing. Guys, tell a friend about it. Please share it. And seriously, go follow both Matt and I on our Facebooks. See our live podcast. You will like it. You will grow. If you don't,
and guess who we have on the podcast on Monday, Greg?
Ooh, me? Am I on?
Besides you, you're not important. So Chris Smith from Curator.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a good episode. Yeah.
Hey, if anybody has any questions about Firepoint, feel free to give me a holler. I'll put you in touch with the guys over there.
Yes, yeah, I wanted to mention that too. So Firepoint, it's coming out. It's so it's lead generation and CRM, right?
Yes, as well as unbelievable ROI tracking and basically business management.
Yep. So if if you've been thinking about Boomtown Commissions Inc. or you're already on one of those platforms and you're not quite happy about their Google AdWords management, yeah, just hit up Paul or Chris Tam. He's in Denver, right?
He's in Denver.
Yeah. So hit up Chris Tam, Tamm, and they can tell you all about Firepoint. Cool, guys.
Awesome.
All right. Well, let's send this puppy home. Thank you so much, guys. Until Monday, have a great weekend, and we will see you then.
See you guys. We love you.